Hi, everybody. Buongiorno, buon pomeriggio, buonasera a tutti. But benvenuti qui a Monte Cassino Woodbridge and benvenuti qui alla città di Vaughan and la mia circoscrizione, la mia sedia a Vaughan Woodbridge. Everyone, I'm just going to speak for 2 or 3 minutes and then I'm going to pass it on to my colleagues and then we'll hear from the Right Honourable Prime Minister. I'm going to say this, and everything, obviously, with the news of Corrado. Last week, I attended, and Flavio was here. We attended the Italian Chamber of Commerce Next Generation Awards. And in my comments that evening, I said, very simple, the day before, I had gone to Villa d'Amici on Martin Grove, which is an assisted living location, and there's about 125 seniors there, all of Italian origin. And I said, oh, who are the Calabrese here? And a bunch of people put them up, and oh, who's from Abruzzi or Lazio and Frosinone? People. And then one person said, well, I'm from Sicilia. I said, okay, cool. And then another one popped up and said, what about the Northerners? I said, oh, no, I was getting there. But that visit reminded me of our community. Not because we're different or we're more special or anything like that, but these people worked. And even when things were tough, they never said it was broken. They just worked, and then they sacrificed, and they built. So the next day, the Next Generation Awards, I saw our future leaders, and I congratulated them to that. Fast forward to today and today's announcement with the Prime Minister. The city of Vaughan is Ontario's construction capital, right, Mayor? 100%. I know Mayor Scarpitti is here, so I got to acknowledge him. Yeah, Mayor Scarpitti. So there's a reason. It's because our community builds. We don't complain. We build. We sacrifice. And the next generation of folks are going to do the same. And I look around this room, and I see that next generation, and they're doing it today. And there's so many people here today. I'm going to stop there because I know my colleagues are going to say something, and you're not here to listen to Francesco Sorbara, but I am a proud Italo-Canadese, also a proud Calabrese, I will say. But at the same time, our community and the generation coming up, the lawyers, the doctors, the tradespeople, the builders, we have so much to be proud of. And I've been a proud representative in Ottawa the last 8 years, representing Vaughan Woodbridge and the city of Vaughan there with, as the mayor knows, with every ounce of energy that I have in my body from the top to the bottom, which is not the highest vertical, but nonetheless, every ounce is utilized. I'll stop there. I just want to welcome everybody to Vaughan and to my riding of Vaughan Woodbridge. I think we have Regional Councillor Mario Ferry here too, so I do want to acknowledge the dignitaries and Councillor Antonio Rosa from Caledon, who's doing a gemellaggio with Isla di Fiori in Italy right now, so it's very exciting. Over to you, Filomena. Or is it over to Judy?
Thank you, Francesco. It is wonderful to be here and to see so many faces. I don't know, even if we've seen each other a month ago, it always seems like I haven't seen you forever kind of thing. But I'm really happy to be here and to see so many, many friendly faces and so many people that have truly helped to build this country that we all get to enjoy. And I have to say, Francesco, you never stop. Francesco is, I think, the hardest working member of Parliament anywhere in Canada. And you know that because he's everywhere. No matter what event it is, you'll find Francesco there for sure, working very hard and constantly in Ottawa, having the voice of his constituents, all of the people that are rather in finance, in cars, where I see Flavio, who continually talks to us about the auto industry and all the rest of it. So I'm very, very happy to be here to see all of you. Thank you for the many, many years of support that you have given to many of us. It's very, very much appreciated. I've been in politics now, I hate to say it because, I'm only 40 and it's pretty hard when, I've been in politics 35 years. So how do you get there? I'm going to have to up those years. But on behalf of my husband and I and the rest of our community just south of here, God bless all of you. Thank you for your continued support. We very much appreciate it. Thank you. Filomena.
Thanks, Judy. Thanks so much. Look, it's absolutely amazing to be here with you this afternoon. And I want to begin by thanking Francesco and his team. You know, my name was on the invitation, but I'm going to tell you, Francesco and his team did all the work. So round of applause for Francesco. And as Judy has said, tireless worker, strong advocate, you can be so proud of his work. But Judy stands right next to Francesco, a woman who has given sage advice and great counsel to so many in Ottawa, and a strong representative. I can tell you that the MPs have great respect for these two colleagues of mine, and I'm so proud to serve alongside them. Judy, you're an amazing representative. And I also want to mention our newest senator, Senator Baroni. How does that sound? Tony, we are so proud of you. We're so happy to see you there, and great to be at your swearing in, which I know a number of you in this room were at. It was a great day, and we know that you're going to continue to make this community proud. Fantastic to have you in the Senate, Tony. Okay, look, yeah. So I'm going to keep my remarks very brief. I want to say a couple of things. First of all, you can be so proud of the contributions that Italian Canadians make to this country. You know what one of the greatest blessings I had in my life? It was the gift of my parents. And you know why? Because they raised me with those Italian values. Hard work, family, dedication, commitment, compassion, kindness. And that I give thanks to God unceasingly, because He, God, maybe it's a she, has blessed me with, I can tell you, probably the greatest parents in the world. These are the values that we live out each and every day. The second piece is the Prime Minister gave me a beautiful gift, and that was to appoint me Minister of Economic Development for Southern Ontario. You know why? Because I get to travel across Southern Ontario, and I'm looking at IDCU, them making contact. The amazing contributions that this community, the Italian Canadian community, is making to building companies, to growing, to providing services and products, one after another face out there. I want to thank you. We are so proud of all of your efforts, and we are grateful for the contributions that you are making to create strong economic growth, creating those great jobs for our children and our grandchildren. Well done. Now, I am very honored and proud to present to you our special guest this afternoon, which I think that the secret is out. And listen, he's no stranger to Vaughan. The last time I saw him in Vaughan, I saw him with the bocce ball, playing bocce with the seniors here with Francesco. And of course, delivering a $59 million housing check, of course. So anyway, our amazing Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau.
Hello, my friends. Good afternoon, cari amici. What a pleasure to see you all. What a pleasure to be gathered with you. I want to thank Francesco and Judy and Filomena for helping pull this together, especially Francesco. I know you're so proud to be the local MP, but I want to once again thank Senator Baroni. Tony, thank you so much for welcoming us here to this beautiful Monte Cassino. Great to see so many friends in the room. Great to be able to spend a little time with this wonderful community that has contributed so much to this country. I will tell you, just a few months ago, or actually a month ago, when I hosted the Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, here in Toronto, one of the things we had most of our conversations about was just how incredibly proud she was of the work that Italian Canadians did to build this extraordinary country. And I kept saying how deeply grateful I was to Italy to have provided such extraordinary community leaders, business people, politicians, professionals, family leaders, community activists that this community has delivered to Canada for so many years. In so many ways, Italians built this country, quite literally through construction, but also through building the economy and contributing in every different way that we have been able to succeed as a country. And quite frankly, in these times of challenge and disruption, we need that spirit of building a better society every single day, the strength of family, the compassion, the strength of community, to be leaning in on how we continue to shape our present and our future. And in many of the conversations I had with Giorgia, it was about the leadership that she's bringing this year as Italy hosts the G7 just in a couple of months, where we'll be all gathering to talk about the situations and the challenges facing the world, and the fact that every country around the world is facing the same kinds of challenges. But in the G7, we have these tremendous opportunities to work together to deliver and to solve for them. And a lot of the conversations I had and I've had over the years with the 5 or 6 Italian prime ministers I've known, it's a time of churn in politics all around the world. The focus on making sure our communities are strong and that the economy works for everyone has been at the center of the biggest challenge we're all facing in our democracies right now. And as I think of how to solve these challenges, as Canadians have solved these challenges in the past by rolling up our sleeves and working together, there are few communities that are not a better example than the Italian community. Strength of community, being there for each other, always being willing to roll up your sleeves and work hard, but to do so with a sense of optimism, of ambition. Whatever project this community dedicates itself to, you do it with the hard work and the positivity that makes your success inevitable. And challenges and tough times, you've been through them, as have all Canadians. But the resilience and the ability to overcome, and not just overcome on an individual basis, and not even just on a community basis, but in a way that has contributed to the betterment of our entire country and society, that is a true testament to this country, this community. And that's why today I am so deeply grateful to be able to come and say thank you. Thank you for everything you've done over the past years. Thank you for everything you continue to do as community leaders, as business leaders, as family members. But thank you especially for all the work we still have to do together to make sure Canada reaches the heights of our ambitions. You know, I was very lucky to be raised by a father who understood the potential of this country and understood the responsibility of service. And in all the conversations we had, and he had a deep, deep fondness for the Italian-Canadian community, as you know, which I feel was quite well reciprocated. It was a deep conviction in what Canadians are capable of. And there's a lot of things going on in the world that are knocking us around, whether it's climate change, whether it's the global inflation crisis, whether it's the housing crisis. And yes, and I've heard from a number of Italian builders who can solve that, and we're going to need everything that you're doing. We had a big announcement this morning. Whether it's the instability around geopolitics, the rise of authoritarian powers, the conflicts in Ukraine, in the Middle East, and elsewhere that are putting a lot of stress on people's sense of where we're going as a country, where we're going as a world. And I look at young people who are really anxious that the kinds of success that previous generations were able to build in this country may not be there for them. And that's sort of the greatest tragedy of all of right now. That young people are worried that maybe that idea of progress that has been so embodied by the generations of Italian Canadians coming to build the success of this country that we've seen, maybe that very idea of progress no longer holds. Maybe it's not true that every generation is automatically going to be better than the generation before. And that's really destabilizing and that's scary. But I tell you what it also is. It is not necessarily true. It doesn't have to be that way. Because this is a challenge that we are facing. But it's a challenge that I know we can overcome. And we can overcome it the way we've always overcome challenges in the past. Pulling together, rolling up our sleeves, and putting forward thoughtful solutions to fix things. And that's why this upcoming budget we're announcing on Tuesday is focused on fairness for every generation, going directly at the fact that young families today are stuck paying so much for rent that they can't even imagine setting aside money to put a down payment on a house. People are pressured with grocery prices because the big grocery companies are taking advantage of what have been lax competition laws in the past that we're strengthening. Investments to support young people as they look for good jobs, support seniors who now will have access to free dental care as of a few months from now. 1.7 million seniors have now applied for the Canada Dental Care Program. These are things we're stepping up in because these are the kinds of investments that lead to having better outcomes throughout society. That's what fairness for every generation is. And that's not an automatic thing. It doesn't happen just by sitting back and saying, oh, we should do it. And it certainly doesn't happen through cuts. It doesn't happen through pulling back on the supports that Canadians need. It doesn't happen by ignoring the realities of climate change or not investing in the battery plants and the cars of the future, yes, Flavio, that we're going to be building. It's by actually understanding that confident communities and confident countries invest in themselves, invest in their future, know that the best thing they can do to build a strong future is give people the tools to succeed today. Because everything we're benefiting from in our society today aren't things that we pay for every day with our taxes. They're things that were built and paid for by previous generations. And right now we're in a moment in this world where that next generation, the millennials, the Gen Zs, 20, 30, 40-year-olds, are looking at their prospects for the future and saying, maybe it's just not there. Maybe the world has changed in a way that doesn't leave room for my success anymore. But this is Canada. This is the Canada we've all built together over generations. And this is a Canada that can continue to provide those solutions. So while a lot of people out there are trying to elevate the anxiety and fear, amplify the feelings of negativity that are definitely out there, this community and our government and so many others are out there saying, no. Instead of just complaining about it, let's fix it. Let's roll up our sleeves and build today for tomorrow like past generations have. Let's do this together because building that better future is what has always created this country at its very best. And whenever we've been at our very best, Italian Canadian community has been part of it every step of the way. So thank you very much, my dear friends, for being here. I look forward to coming around and saying hi to all of you. Merci pour tout ce que vous faites. Grazie mille, cari amici.